So part 2 of our trick or treat treats, The Rescuers. I took the lead on the last one. You can go first for this one.
You know, for the longest time, I actually really hated The Rescuers because it was one of those things where it's like I couldn't quite explain why. I just remembered I watched it once when I was a kid and I didn't like it. And then I remember this was a few years ago where you're like, yeah, let's watch it.
Because I hadn't seen it in a really long time. I was like, I like it? I think. Let's figure it out.
And then we watched it and it was just like, this movie is fucking amazing.
Yeah, I was like, this is great.
Yeah, and so as part of our rewatch, like, we had only watched this movie like a year ago or so.
Yeah, not too long, but, we had to watch it anyway.
But rewatching it again, I honestly found that my appreciation for it grew even more. It kind of feels like a movie that doesn't get talked about a lot. But honestly, this is one of the better Disney movies, in this era. Like the plot, like a little girl has basically been kidnapped by these two, Madame Medusa. And this other guy.
Oh, what's the other guy? It's like Snoops? Snoops, yeah. And then Brutus and Nero, the two. Whichever they are. So, not on this, on the previous watch, when I hadn't seen it in forever, when I heard that their names were Brutus and Nero. Clay can attest to this. I was just laughing for like a straight minute and a half.
Yeah, you were howling the whole time.
I thought it was so funny.
And yeah, like, see, she sends a message out in a bottle and it's intercepted by the Rescuers agency. And you got Miss Bianca. You got Bernard.
Yeah. You got Ava Gabor and Bob Newhart.
And these two are, I think, what make the movie. Well, there's a lot of things that make this movie great. I actually think this is a great movie.
I would agree with that.
I love, the animation is super simple, but I love the lighting. It is a very moody and dark film. It's not necessarily dark in terms of, like, theme, although it does kind of have some
it's got, like, kidnapping.
It's got, like, kidnapping and, like, a kid who's, like, an orphan. She wants parents and stuff. And it's, like, it's pretty screwy, but it's, like, man, there are so many great, like, shots, so much good lighting.
A lot of the backgrounds were just gorgeous.
The backgrounds are gorgeous, especially when they get into the bayou. Just very atmospheric. I think part of it that makes it so atmospheric is also the audio work. Like, I love the audio work of, like, the last century. Like, not like the 2000s onward, but basically this kind of old-time, like, these microphones that are kind of a little gravelly and a little scratchy. And it's like, there's something about that quality that adds so much atmosphere. I think it's one of the reasons why Casablanca is such a good movie. It's just the atmosphere of the audio mixing. Well, it's
literally everything about Casablanca. Besides one of my favorite movies.
But it's like I just love that old timey, just scratchy.
But I think I know what you mean.
The voice actors do an amazing job. I love Bernard. Bob Newhart is this. He's playing this guy who is. He's not a coward. He is very scared. He's very unsure of himself. But
he's trying his best.
He's trying his best. Mostly because, we need to rescue this little girl, but also to impress Ava Gabor. Because Ava Gabor has the voice of an angel.
Yes.
A Hungarian angel. And it's just like, oh man, just listening to her voice is just...
So did it have that same effect on you as Duchess, or only as Miss Bianca?
I mean, Duchess was like one of the only things I liked about Aristocats, because not just because it was Ava Gabor, because that always makes things better, but because I just genuinely like her personality of, she's a lady, she's very regal, but she's not uptight, she's not a stick in the mud, and
she can also flirt with Mr. O'Malley.
Oh yeah.
That's. I don't know how many other Disney movies she's in. I think it's only these two and Down Under. But her chemistry with whoever she's like playing with is always like really good.
I actually don't think it's Ava Gabor in Down Under. I think it might have been Zaza Gabor, because I think Ava might have died by that point, which sucks. But yeah, it's like Miss Bianca doesn't have a lot to do in this story, and kind of the same in Down Under, where she kind of takes a backseat. But here, I just love her. She's doing that same. She's almost like Duchess in terms of personality, where she's this very ladylike, regal. But it's clear she's doing this because it's fun. She is,
and also to save the little girl. Like she genuinely cares. Very good heart, but is also enjoying the adventure.
She's having fun. You know, she's the one who's like, "Come on, Bernard, like loosen up a little bit. Like we're about to go fly on an albatross." You know?
And then she just like rests her head on his shoulders, kind of cuddling up to him. Yeah, and he's like, this is a good outcome. I see this as an absolute win until he like falls out of the albatross.
Yeah. Which makes it all more confusing and Down Under, because I remember when we watched Rescuers a few years back, we also watched Down Under. I don't think it was like right after. But I think it was like the day after or something. And it was just like, man, there are just some things about this movie that are weird. And we'll get to that when we get to Down Under, which is in a few movies.
I graduated from the 3rd grade for nothing.
But it's like, Down Under is actually kind of a downgrade, which is weird, because I remember I loved Down Under when I was a kid, and I hated the original Rescuers. But now it's kind of the opposite, spoiler alert, where it's like, the Rescuers 1 is amazing, and Down Under's
fine.
It's a Disney sequel. Well, not...
Yeah, it's like,
we'll go that.
The animation looks great in that movie, but... I guess that's enough about Down Under. Anything else about the Madame Medusa? We really haven't said anything. Yeah. I love her design. How she looks like Cruella's cousin. She acts like Cruella's cousin.
There's even a scene where she's driving.
Yeah, and it's like the same car.
And she's just this. She's like trying to be nice to this kid, but also just this horrible evil.
What is it that she is? Yeah, it's like while she's trying to be nice, it's about how like, oh, Penny, who would ever want to adopt you?
It's Joker, where it's like, you know, but don't you have to be funny to be a comedian?
Oh, it is.
And I like Penny. I think she has. Yeah. She has some
moments where she down, Brutus. And if you get my teddy wet, Nero. I mean, she had a lot of spunk to her, which is something I always appreciate. Then my guy Snoops. Oh no, okay, so my favorite scene in the movie is when Brutus and Nero are trying to eat Bernard and Bianca, and then they're playing the piano because the mice are hiding inside the things in the organ, and then so they keep flying out. Love it. Like, that is some, like, Tom and Jerry shenanigans. And then you've got the folks on the bayou just like drinking moonshine. It's a Disney movie, which nowadays you would not see that. But yeah, these old movies, like if someone's not smoking or drinking, it does not feel right.
I mean, Walt Disney loves both. Not in public, but... Here, buddy, this'll cure what ails you. And just the reaction people get when they drink in these movies.
Oh, it's just so funny. I think my favorite still is Pinocchio just... seeing Lamplight. He just look, what was in the cigar? What was in the beer?
But yeah, absolutely fantastic movie. I don't think it's quite S tier though.
I agree. It's a very strong A.
It's a very strong A. There are like some minor things with the pacing and the characters, but they're so small. They're small enough that it's not going to dock the film too many points, but it's not quite an S tier. But yeah, definitely a fantastic movie.
Alright, anything else to say about our boy and girl?
No.
Alright, so then it's Fox and the Hound in just a sec.